Hey guys, we are going to get started on the Grand MA 2 out here at Houston Levy and going through the sequence list and also the startup process. So let me get all my views correct here, and I'm going to expand these so you can see them a lot better. I know in the last videos it's a little blurry, but what we want to do to turn all the power on, screen 2 right here, which is going to be your far right screen on the physical console, you're going to go down here to this power view, and you're going to focus on these macros right here. So very simple to turn on the power. You're going to have two macros that you want to focus on. So all power on, you'll hit that, you'll click it, and it will go through about a minute or so until it's done, and all the lights will kind of reset. And once they're done spinning and doing the reset mode, you're going to hit lamp on HSL right here, and that's going to turn all the lamps on for your moving lights. So that macro maybe lasts about 30 seconds, and it clears it out in the programmer for you, and that's the beauty of macros. It's really a one-step process. And then fast forward to the end of the night or the end of the day, you'll hit all power off. And this macro right here is going to be 5 minutes long because there's a cooling method to the lights. You know, once you turn the lamps off, the fans in the actual lights actually cool the lamps off to make their lamp life last longer. So you can hit this macro at the end of the night. You know, once everybody's out of the room, you could hit it and then walk off for about 5 minutes and come back and shut off the board because it has some commands in there that brings up the house lights on their own. So that's how you make that happen. We'll go back to this run page, make sure we're in the right views. Let me make sure everything is off right here. All right, so let's talk about the far left screen. And we are going to select our weekend service, and we're going to talk about loops. And you'll come in after you turn on the power and everything, and you're probably going to want to set your loops for that service. You're going to look at your planning center service flow on your phone or on the computer, and that's how you're going to set your loops. So let me delete this, and I'm going to show you an example here. Let me go to Q110, please. Exit all that. Let's say instead of video right here, we want to go to meet and greet. And I'm going to show you what happens if we're on the current queue and then we put a loop on the current queue. So right here it looks good. It looks like we're going to jump straight to meet and greet, right? But if I hit go, it's not going to do that. So this is why it's very important to set all your loops before service. And you have to go to the very top of the service basically for these loops to work correctly. I'm not sure if this is a glitch in the system or what, but that's just how it is with MA right now. If I hit go back, then if I hit go, then it's meet and greet. So it's never ideal to backtrack in a service, in a live service. That's why you want to set all your loops beforehand and you're good to go. So that is what we have about loops. And let's go back to Q101 right here. Pre-service, I'm going to kind of explain these commands, not all of them, but just the first couple, because it gets pretty confusing if we go over every single one of them, and we can talk about that more in another video and how to set those, and that'll be more for programming. But this command right here, which it says executor 2 at 100%, fade 5, it's basically like there's another lighting operator with you. It's like a virtual lighting operator. It helps you out, makes the service smooth and everything. So this CMD right here actually stands for command. So everything in this column contains commands for each queue. So basically executor 2 stores intensities, and this is what you're seeing on stage, like moving lights, LEDs, stuff of that nature. And you know, once I go to clock right here, you'll notice that executor 2 is going down. And because it's going down, it says executor 2 at 0%, fade 10 seconds. And that's that. So commands are great. At the end of the day, again, it makes things smooth. It's awesome. I love them. So you'll see a lot of commands used in songs and in the main weekend service flow. So moving on, we're going to hit go. And for Houston Levy, we're never really going to use Q103 through 106 because we're not really busking during worship or running it manual. Really, the only time we run it manual at Houston Levy is when we do post-message worship. So we do that maybe like once a month, once every other month, and it's very easy. It's what these faders are for right here. which stores all the intensities for your different groups of lights on stage. And then you have some effects down here, and you'll also see effects and everything on your second screen in the middle, and then on your screen on the lower portion of the console where you can do positions and everything like that. So we'll talk about that later on, but for now, let's go to timed songs. So your first two songs at Houston Levy will always be timed. They're never going to be manual go cues, although you do see the first couple of cues say go, because we want to start our time cues on the verse of each song, of each fast song, that is. So pausing for a second, you do see the commands over here. It says executor 16 at 100%, fade 0, and then executor 21 at 100% fade 3 seconds. So once I hit go, well, let me do this. Let me go back. I'm hitting the wrong one. Let me minimize this. Let me still expand it so you can see it, but I do need to have this where I can go over here, this small little button. Now I'm good. So we'll go to intro. You'll notice that we're still kind of running it manually or hitting go. As soon as I hit go right here, you'll notice that there's a countdown that starts for the next cue. So every cue, all the way up to cue 16, is going to be like that. So your job as a lighting operator is to have your in-ears on during this part of the song, so that way you can hear when the beat comes in, when the click comes in the track. So normally a song starts up, it says intro 2, 3, 4, and then you'll go to intro, and then you'll hear verse 2, 3, 4, and then you'll hit that verse in the 1. So I'll do it right here. So it'll be verse 2, 3, 4, and go. And that's when your time cues start, and you should be on perfect timing. Now you might ask, like, what if the band changes directions? We're pretty good at keeping the roadmap the same at all times, especially for fast songs. And it makes life a lot easier to do it this way, and it's more dynamic, and you have some cool transitions in these fast songs. So going through all the way to the end, you'll see that we have some more commands right here. Executor 21 at 0, fade 3. And Executor 21 basically stores all the stage lights intensities into one fader, so that way when the fader goes down, it's going to make for a smooth transition going into the next song. And we are into the next song right here. So this is echo. So again, you'll go verse 2, 3, 4, and go. You'll see here that it's going to start your countdown, and it's going to go through the whole song for you. I'm going to fast forward all the way through here. A lot of cues in this song. And again, when you go to this end cue, executor 21, as you just saw, was fading. And then I'll open up this command right here so you can see what's going on. So basically it's saying select executor 18, which is going to be your song 3. It's going to go to that first cue in executor 18, and then it's going to bring executor 17 down, which is the current executor that we're in. So again, this is why commands are so great, because it's going to be hard to memorize all of this and doing it manually. So that's why we plug in all these commands to make life easier. So if I hit go, you'll see right here that we're in song 3. So song 3 and 4, it's usually the slower half of our worship service where we have manual go cues. So these go cues are, they all contain lyrics, so that way it's like a cheat sheet for you to where you can go in and know when to hit the next cue. So we'll always have the first line of the lyric to each part of the song. So pretty simple, all go cues. You're just seeing go the whole time on the actual console. And then right here, once you get to this last cue, sometimes it says crash or down or end or whatever, but you'll see that it loops to 18. That's if the band sticks to the regular roadmap of the song. Let's say if they continue the song, or pastor comes up and they want to continue a soft chorus, and maybe they're going to build it, and maybe they're going to go big again. So this comes in handy. I'm going to make this big right here. Let's say we're going to repeat that chorus again softly, and you're going to hit go to 12, please. And now you're good to go through all these cues. Sometimes they don't finish all these cues out. This is why these cues are in blue. It means basically manual cues. It's a soft cue, there's a build cue, big build, a big C, or this really should just say big, and then a crash, and then a down cue. So let's say that they build and then they build again, but then all of a sudden they end it really quickly. What we're going to do is we're going to, go to our go to button and then hit. You can either hit 17 or you can hit 18 to end the song. So in this case, I'll hit 18, so you can jump from one of these blue cues to end the song pretty quickly, and then jump into the next song. So again, guys, I know this is probably a lot of information right up front, but this is really the best way to do this. And again, when you're in a live setting, you do learn a lot more. So this next song is the exact same. You see more cues, you see the lyrics and everything, and we'll go through the song. You see I have loops right here that skip this tag, and then we go out of worship. So the last song will always jump back to the first executor, which is your main weekend service flow, and you'll see that we're in post-worship now. And all your songs are done. All you're focusing on for the rest of the service is this first executor. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm probably going to start some other discussions on this sequence list and everything. Really no need to go through these right now, but we'll talk about post-message worship and how to make that happen in more of like a manual setting. But I kind of want to keep these videos short. We're already probably at 12 minutes, so I hope you enjoyed it. We'll move on to our next video here soon.